Welcome dear students and hope that you are doing great. So today I am again with this 12th class chemistry guess for March session 2024, which is according to the latest syllabus prescribed by Jkbose. And in this today's guess we will have a complete marks distribution, and we will also have a look on the question paper pattern, and we will also have a look on those chapters from which long answer type question will be asked, and similarly we will also have a look on higher order thinking skill based questions which are known as HOTS. So let's start first of all with the question paper pattern. So your question paper, it will carry total 70 marks in theory, and it will have 4 sections: section A, section B, section C and D. Now this section A, it will actually carry 10 questions, each having 1 mark. So total you are having 10 marks. Next section, which is your section B, it will have 9 questions and each will carry 2 marks, so total 18 marks. Then you are having this section C, it will carry also 9 questions but each will have 3 marks, so total 27 marks from this section. And then section D, it will have total 3 questions and each will have 5 marks. This is long answer type question, so you will have total 15 marks. Now let's start first with those questions which we call as higher order thinking skill based questions, known as HOTS. So actually these questions, they are, as the name suggests, they are higher order thinking based questions, right? So these questions, they will be definitely asked from NAM reactions. Just in organic chemistry you are having various NAM reactions. Particularly if I just call, we are having just Wurtz reaction, Wurtz fitting reaction, we are having a Reimer-Tiemann reaction, we are having Rosenmann's reduction, isn't it? We are having aldol condensation, Kenizerose reaction. So we are having various NAM reactions which you have to study in detail, because see how question will be asked. Question will be asked like this. For example, if we are having a molecule, let's say C2H4O, and this molecule, it upon oxidation, it gives, let's say, A, and which is told that it gives haloform test. So if it gives haloform test, you have to tell what will be the structure of this C2H4O, isn't it? So actually you have to apply the concept which you have learned in various tests. Just we are having the Tollens reagent, isn't it? Just we are having the haloform test, haloform reaction. Just we are having the carboxylic reaction. So you have to study them in detail, these NAM reactions. Next is order of acidity and basicity. See, from the alcohols, similarly from the phenols and from carboxylic acids, we are having the order of acidity will be asked. And I hope you remember the complete effect of electron withdrawing group, electron donating group, isn't it? What is the effect of hyperconjugation, mesomeric effect, resonance effect, inductive effect on acidity and basicity. Similarly, basicity, it will be asked from the amines. Amines are basic and you have to tell the order, isn't it? Either in the gaseous phase, either in the aqueous state. I hope you will study them. Next is the organic tests. As I already told, just for example, we are having primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols, or just we are having the primary, secondary and tertiary amines. There are various tests. Just we are having the Lucas test, just we are having the Hinsberg test, isn't it? So these are very important. You have to remember these. Next is coordination compounds. They have very important applications in our day-to-day life, in industry, in medical field, isn't it? So you have to remember actually their optical properties, right? Their magnetic properties, they are very important. You should be able to tell that which is paramagnetic, which is diamagnetic complex, isn't it? And you should be able to tell the shape and geometry of these coordination compounds. Next is solution. See how question will be asked from this. For example, if it is given that we are having, let's say a diagram is given to you and it is given that we are having 2 sections, section A here and B. These 2 apartments, they are just separated by this SPM, semi-permeable membrane, isn't it? And let's say B is your seawater, it is your seawater, and let's say A is your pure water, isn't it? And now question will be framed on this like this, that from which medium, that means from which section to which section will water flow. Similarly, this semi-permeable membrane, it is made up of what, and what is the industrial application of this? It's actually we can do the desalination of seawater, isn't it? So this is the application. It is actually the reverse osmosis, isn't it? So I hope you have studied this. So this is actually how these higher order thinking skill based questions will be asked. Now let's start with chapter number first, that is your unit first, that is the solution. It carries 7 marks. So the various important topics from this is the concentration terms. First of all, just we are having the molarity, we are having the normality, isn't it? Just we are having the mole fraction, isn't it? Mole fraction. Similarly, we are having the molality. These are very important, and I hope you will go through all these concentration terms, and numerical based question will be asked, and I hope that you can solve such type of questions. Next is the colligative properties, very important. Just we are having the elevation and boiling point, just we are having the relative lowering of vapor pressure, isn't it? They are very much important, and you should be able to calculate the molar mass of the solute. Next is Rolte's law, isn't it, for volatile and non-volatile solute. You should study this. Next is Van 't Hoff factor. It's very important, and from this calculation based question may be asked. And this unit first, it is very important, because from this unit you will remember that long answer type question which carries 5 mark will be asked from this. So this is the first chapter from which long answer type question will be asked. I will tell you there are only 3 chapters or units from which long answer type question will be asked. So this is one among them. Now let's move ahead towards unit second. Now unit second we are having, that is your electrochemistry, which is carrying 9 marks. So it is very important chapter, because it is the second unit from which long answer type question will be asked, right? So now let's see the various important topics from this. First of all, types of conductivity. Just we are having the molar conductivity, we are having the equivalent conductivity, we are having specific conductivity, isn't it? And its variation with concentration, and the units, they are very important. Unit of molar conductivity. Next very important is Colroy's law and its application. This is very important question. It may be asked as 5 mark question. Next is types of cells. They are very important. Just we are having the primary cell, we are having the secondary cell, we are having the Phenols cell. Any type of cell may be asked. So you have to study them in detail. Any electrochemical cell, just we are having the Daniel cell, we are having the dry cell, isn't it? We are having mercury cell, we are having lead storage battery. They are all important. One may be asked from these, and it will also be long answer type question. Possibility is, one is that of these cells, another is this Colroy's law, and another is the Nernst equation. It's very important, and its application, isn't it, in order to calculate the electrode potential. So this is your second unit from which long answer type question will be asked. Next unit is your chemical kinetics. Now it carries 7 marks. So from this, the important topics are rate of reaction, isn't it? The various factors which affect the rate of reaction. You should know the order and molecularity, the difference, and the units of various order of reaction. Just first and 0 order reaction, this is very important. Their derivation is always asked. Arrhenius equation, isn't it? Arrhenius equation is very important. So sometimes numerical based question may be asked from this. Now you will remember that from this chapter there is no any possibility of long answer type question, right? We have already discussed the 2 units, and the another one we will discuss in organic chemistry. Now the next one we are having, that is your D and F block elements, right? D and F block elements. Now it also carries 7 marks, so there will be no any long answer type question. So first of all, important is the electronic configuration. You should be able to write the electronic configuration of first transition series, isn't it? First transition series, and that means transition elements, the 3D series, we can say the 3D series, electronic configuration of chromium, copper, various ions, isn't it? That's important. Trends in properties is very important, in which particularly you will study the color of these transition metals. You will study their magnetic properties, isn't it? Why they are used as catalysts, it is asked. Why they act as alloys, isn't it? Why they are used as alloys. Similarly, why they are used as catalysts. Why they are used as catalysts, you should know the reason. Next very important here is the 2 oxidizing agents, that is potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate. Their preparation and property very important, and oxidizing properties particularly. Next is lanthanoid contraction, isn't it? Its cause and consequence, it's very important. And what is this? So this is your unit 4. Then next we are having Unit 5, that is actually the coordination compounds. They are very important, coordination compounds. It carries 7 marks. So here you should study the various types of ligands, just monodentate, bidentate, polydentate, isn't it? We are having hexadentate, we are having ambidentate ligands, different types of ligands. They are important. Isomerism is very important, geometrical or whether stereo isomerism of these coordination compounds and their nomenclature. You should be able to write the IUPAC name of these coordination compounds. The two very important theories here are valence bond theory and crystal field theory. As I already told that in coordination compounds, magnetic properties, optical properties and the geometry of these coordination compounds, which is actually calculated from these VBT and CBT. You should know these geometry, isn't it? Color, the magnetic properties, they are very important here. So this is your unit 5. Then we are having the unit 6. Unit 6 is your haloalkanes and haloarenes, isn't it? The very important topic here is nucleophilic substitution reaction, that's SN1 and SN2, the mechanism, right? You should here be able to write the RS nomenclature, DL nomenclature and this small dl, isn't it? This is different, DL, what we call as plus and minus, isn't it? That's actually which is dextro and which is levo rotatory. And this DL, it is different, capital DL. You should know this and how to calculate this RS nomenclature. I hope that you have already studied the various rules for this. So I hope that you know actually how to calculate this RS nomenclature from CIP rules, that is Can, Ingold and Prelog rules, right? Can, Ingold and Prelog rules, priority rule. Next is the stability of carbocation. You should know which carbocation is stable, benzyl, allyl, isn't it? Vinyl. We are having different types of carbocations and you should be able to know the stability because actually in this SN1 carbocation is formed. Next is the environmental effect and uses of just we are having the DDT we are having, isn't it? We are having the freons, chlorofluorocarbons. We are having similarly chloroform, isn't it? We are having dichloromethane. Similarly, how to prepare these haloalkane haloarenes and their properties, isn't it? Just we are having some rules here, some name reactions, just as I already told. We are having the Schwarz reaction, Finkelstein reaction, isn't it? We are having Wirtz reaction, we are having fitting reaction, Wirtz fitting reaction. So you will have a look on these. Now let's move ahead. Next is your unit 7. It carries 6 marks, which is actually your alcohols, phenols and ethers. So here you should be able to write the nomenclature of these compounds, preparation and properties, isn't it? At least 5 preparations. And as I already told, how to identify primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. Just we are having different tests to identify these. Just Lucas test we are having. So you should know this. Next is electrophilic substitution reaction of these alcohols, isn't it? Phenols actually, particularly. If we just have a phenol and then if we just have any electrophile, how it will react with this. Just we are having, as I already told, name reactions. We are having the Reimer-Tiemann reaction, we are having Kolbe's reaction, isn't it? So you should be able to tell the product. Next is acidic nature of phenols. Phenols are acidic and which group will increase acidity, which will decrease. You should know the order as I already told. Now the next unit is unit number 8 and that is your aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. Now this is your 3rd such chapter from which long answer type question will be asked. So you will remember this is the aldehyde, ketone and carboxylic acid from which this long answer type question will be asked, particularly from preparation and properties, particularly that is this one and this one. They are important, that is. So first of all you should be able to write the nomenclature, IUPAC name of these methods of preparation. Important is this, that is the mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction. We are having various nucleophile which can easily get added to the carbonyl carbon, isn't it? Whether it is aldehyde or ketone. And next is actually a reaction is due to alpha hydrogen. As I already told, we are having aldol condensation, Cannizzarose reaction, right? So you should be able to tell the product. And next is very important, nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Just we are having hydrazine that will result in the formation of product hydrazone, isn't it? Hydroxylamine, oxime will be formed. Just we are having semicarbazone, semicarbazide, so that will result in the formation of semicarbazone, isn't it? So different nucleophilic additions followed by elimination, they are very important. Next is the acidic nature of carboxylic acid, right? Which group will affect the acidity, and you should know here the ortho effect. So this is actually the unit from which long answer type question will be asked. So we are having 3 chapters in total. One was the solution unit, another was the electrochemistry, and third is this one, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. It carries 8 marks in total. Now let's have the next chapter, that is your unit 9, and that is actually the we are having amines, we are having cyanides, isocyanides and diazonium salts. So identification of primary, secondary and tertiary amines, as I already told, by Hinsberg reagent they are identified. So different tests used to identify this. You should remember the preparation also here is important, preparation of amines, isn't it? And preparation of diazonium salt, that is actually the mechanism of diazotization, and the applications of this diazonium salt, just we are having the various coupling reactions here. And similarly in case of amines we are having very important reaction that is called carbyl amine reaction, isn't it? Carbyl amine reaction, or what we can also say isocyanide test, isn't it? We are having important reactions here, like we are having Hofmann bromamide reaction, we are just having the Gabriel phthalimide synthesis, so they are very important here. So you will also remember the basicity of amines, as I already told earlier. Next is their chemical properties, that is the chemical reactions, isn't it? So then we are having the last unit, unit 10, that is the biomolecules. So here you will study the classification of carbohydrates and vitamins, right? Structure, preparation and properties of this glucose and fructose. This is very important, isn't it? Sometimes we are having the disaccharides, just we are having sucrose, maltose, lactose. When we just hydrolyze them, what is the product formed? Sometimes this objective will be asked us, this is very important, and their structure is important. So primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure of protein, it is asked. And DNA, here you should be able to tell what is actually we are having adenine, isn't it? Guanine, cytosine, thymine. Actually what are nucleosides and nucleotides? You should remember what is glycosidic bond and what is amide bond, isn't it? They are very two important things, glycosidic bond and amide bond. So next is denaturation of protein, you will also have a look here, and the sources and deficiency diseases of vitamins. Vitamins are very important, so objective is asked from this. So I hope that you have understood what will be the pattern of question paper and which questions are important and from where long answer type question will be asked. So thank you for watching.